we asked recruitment experts to uncover their top strategies for effectively managing recruitment crises. Here's what they have to say.
Well, one thing that I love to do is focus on the employees that we have. I mean, we talk about that all the time. The one way to, not be a part of this great resignation is to keep your company or your culture engaging, your employees engaged, constantly assessing, what your engagement level is. And then making sure you're considering internal candidates for promotion before you go outside of that to find somebody externally. Even if it's just moving across business units, a lateral move, giving them the opportunity to learn something new when you have that. And then if you can't provide that opportunity to your internal candidate, still making them feel great about the process so that you're not losing that engagement and, making them think there's no way they'll ever be able to get out of their position, and let them know how valuable they are to the organization, and there will definitely be opportunities for them down the road. So I would say that's number one. Again, back to employer branding. I mean, that's so important now. Every company should be looking at themselves as like a marketing, company. You need to be out there, posting across multiple channels. You've got to be on Facebook and, all the regular ones. But I've seen some creative things on TikTok, which I am super excited about and would love to explore a little further. But just getting out there and making sure that you're giving a great candidate experience so that even though, you might not move forward with that person, they're not leaving nasty reviews on Glassdoor.
So, things like the talent shortage, the best advice I can give is really get something out of everything, which sounds like a mass oversimplification of things, but because it is much harder to find candidates in this kind of talent short market, it's really important that you make the most out of every contact that you have. Don't be afraid to ask candidates you're working with for referrals. When you do happen to get in contact with somebody, even if they reject you and they say, hey, I'm not interested in this opportunity right now, take an opportunity to ask them for a quick call, get to know them, add them to your pipeline, because you never know if the job order that's appropriate for them is going to come a month down the road. Just make the most out of every single interaction that you're fortunate to get. And eventually, you'll weather, I think, this talent shortage.
Yeah, I think this goes also back to the ghosting question, right? My thing has always been to stay organized, focus on those candidates that you really, really want, and, try to develop some kind of connection, make a connection through them, do messaging, whatever it is you have to do to be able to move those people through. And that really takes some skill, because there's going to be, especially if you're working for an organization that's very popular, you are going to get a ton of inbound leads and applicants. And so keeping those organized, focusing on the ones you really want, making those connections and really driving the process, I think is going to be the best way for you to handle it.
Yeah, so I would say for one, understanding what you can impact and what you can't impact, and don't allow those things that you can't impact to really affect attitude. And I think keeping even keel about it, because no matter how crazy the market gets or what kind of curveballs are thrown at you, the more that you can stay even keel, stay balanced. And then I always take it back to the basics. So anytime that I feel like my business isn't going the way it should be, I always go back to the basics, just basically the things that built or that I learned initially, even going back to articles like the ABCs of recruiting and stuff like that.
So one of the roles that tend to see the shortage of talent are the ones that don't pay or provide a work-life balance. And that's what they're wanting. I have a saying that I tell my candidates, and even when I interview, I use this: I don't live to work somewhere, I work somewhere to live. And the moment I'm no longer living is a problem. And people are also realizing that these low wages, paired with the way inflation's going, it makes it hard to survive and afford basic needs. also, some people are not going to college anymore and getting their degrees, and these roles are still requiring that. And so you're having a community that is no longer, or a smaller pool of candidates that have gone to college. And excuse me, a lot of people are realizing that they don't need that college degree to get a good job, or honestly just may not be able to afford to. That it took me 10 years to finally get back to college and be able to be in a spot in my life where I can afford it. And the roles that require it, they're not taking that experience that they've built into account. So even though they have 10 plus years of experience, they're missing out on that degree. And that's usually the downfall.